Good morning, everyone. Um, Today's Thursday, so today is not a very sunny day today, but you know what? I'm going to make the best of it, and I am going to be in the studio for the foreseeable hours. Let's just put it that way. Since I can't sit outside, I might as well enjoy this instead. So, you know, lemonade on lemons here. What I wanted to do is I wanted to work on my traveler's notebooks. Now, I don't have time and I don't have the patience right now to do every single page. So, what I wanted to do is I wanted to do it in stages, which you absolutely can do. It's like, making any kind of scrapbook for a gift or, those mini scrapbooks and things like that. It's the same kind of idea, but you're doing it for yourself and it's in a traveler's notebook, and eventually you'll put it into a cover, which I've made a placemat cover. There's a video, I'll link it down below, or you can look through my, excuse me, video list and you can find it there. But it's a very easy, simple placemat cover you can make for your traveler's notebooks. So today I wanted to do this little series. It's a cute little paper series. I don't remember where I got it from, but it was a mini package with just this and a few other like letter stickers and borders and things like that. It's really cute. I love the colors. I love the designs. So I wanted to do something with this. So I'm just going to pick a random one because I haven't really decided what I'm putting in these, but I know that a lot of these already have decorated pages, which is great. So this one has more like a Valentine's kind of theme, as you can tell. So what we could do is we could set this one aside if we wanted to, but you know what? Let's work with it anyway, because you never know, right? So stamping in stages, it's just, all about getting your stamps out. You can get out your favorites. You can get out some old ones. I have some wood block ones and things like this. I have some frame ones, and then I have all of my clear stamps. So you can do doodles, you can do flowers, you can do, I wouldn't do sentiments so much at this point because you're not sure what you're going to put in there for photographs and things like that. So, but you can do something very simple. If it were a gift, obviously you could do sentiments and whatnot else. Because you would know what the person would use it for, or they could at least be guided by that. So anyway, what I wanted to do is I wanted to just sort of create some kind of flow where I go from stamping to washi tape to embellishments and things like that, because I don't know what I'm going to put in here. Let's just say we're going backwards. So instead of starting with the photograph, we are going to go the opposite way. Because I like to make life difficult. What can I say? Coffee. Sorry. But I wanted to play with pattern making. And that doesn't mean every page has to be like that. Obviously not. Sorry. I'm already running out of space. But, pattern making with stamps is a very simple project. So here we have hearts. It doesn't even have to be Valentine's because it's green and red. So you could always do this for Christmas too. But, if you covered most of the page with another solid color over top or whatever, you don't have to use this whole page as is. You could concentrate on the green, which is exactly what I'm going to do here. For some reason, I like the green, and we're going to go with it. And I like this stamp because it's got a little bit of a vine and a little bit of a flower, but it's not overly drastic. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to play. Because today seems to be one of those days. I just need to make sure this is actually going to work. Let me grab something. Yes, beautiful. Okay. Sometimes I'm not so sure if my ink pads are too dry. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to evenly space them. So you could do a border on one side, you could fill the whole page. You can do whatever you like. But it allows me to still be creative without having photographs, because I don't always have, excuse me, photographs on hand. So I could fill up the whole page, or I could leave it as a border. I kind of like it as a border in this case. So I think that's actually pretty cool. Now, excuse me, I could do the whole thing. Let's see, maybe we can do something else. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll put it on the same one, but I don't want to get the stamp acrylic block all dirty. You know what I mean? And again, you know, it's pattern play. You can just sort of, you know, still be creative without being overly, you know, without having all the ingredients on hand. So you do a partial recipe here. That's okay too. And then you can repeat if you like. Again, you know, it's not something you have to do. I just felt like playing. And it's a good way to practice, and it's a good way to just sort of, you know, have fun with it. Because eventually, if you didn't like all of it, you could cover some of it up with cardstock or whatever if it doesn't work out. You know, it's not the end of the world. It's okay. So here we have an orange and yellow. Kind of like this turquoise to go with that. And I think I'll do a frame. Let's see, which one should I do? Maybe we'll do this one. I've had these, excuse me, stamp blocks forever. It's kind of cute. And again, if it doesn't work out 100%, that's all right. I'm not overly concerned. Adding a bit of flowers. I don't know. There. You could go on here if you wanted to. Excuse me. Let's see. And of course you could stencil if you wanted to with your inks. That would be fine too. That'd be quite pretty. But I like these ones that you don't really know what to do with. So there's always, you know, these kinds of stamps that are kind of the odd shape, or they're a little bit, you know, they're more for multi-mixed media kind of thing. And using them in this kind of setting, it's actually kind of cool. So something that would normally not be used all the time, you can totally use it for this. So if you have a new stamp set that you don't know what to do with, or an old one that you haven't used yet, which I'm sure plenty of us have, you could totally do something like this. You can play with it a bit. You can sort of, you know, figure out what you want to do, how it works, and it's fun. On to the next one. So here, turquoise again. Okay. Yeah, I guess we could do turquoise. Or we could leave it. This is actually quite busy. It's not horrible. Do you know what? Maybe we'll do something like this. We'll add some kind of floral design. Now in this case, maybe I would not use a color so much as a black. Because I think that would calm it down a little bit. There's an awful lot of color going on. There. And sometimes, you know, an idea will be a jumping off point for something else. So if you do a lot of this stuff sort of randomly ahead of time, you know, it gives you a chance to play, like I said, and it also gives you a chance to later on figure out what you would like to do. So I think it's a win-win. I love these little swirly ones too. All of my ink blocks are dirty. I don't have an orange, but I do have this. It's called mulberry. Let's see how this one will work. If it doesn't work out, we'll cover it up with something else. Ooh, I like that. Sometimes that is all you need. There. It's really pretty. I like the two colors together. Even though it's a bit darker, it works well with it. So you could use this as a summer page or a fall page. It doesn't really matter. Oh, this is a fun swirly one. What should we do with this one? I don't know. This is where stamps like these come in handy too. They're already like a strip kind of idea. So what you can do is you can totally play off of that. I wouldn't really mount this on anything else. I would just leave it as is. That's what I usually use it for. Let's see. The color's actually pretty good. So we just load up our stamp. Now you could do this the same way as the other side, or we could just go horizontal. But I like the idea of mimicking that. We could do it off to one side. That's really cool. Yeah, I like the colors. Now you could do a border around this, or you could leave it as it is. I don't know. What else do I have? I'll have a bunch of stamps to clean up after all this, but that's okay. That's part of creating, is making the mess. Sometimes you can just put stamp 1 and 2 together and come up with something a little bit different. I kind of like that. That looks cool. So that's pretty good. So these ones here, like these types of designs. So this is a very long one, but I don't normally use it on anything. So I think in this case, we could use it on something like this because we have this narrow border along the side. Now I could go with a different color if I wanted to, of course, but I'm going to go with a monochromatic one. I'll put that there. There we go. Looks pretty good. So that makes me happy. And here we have this one again. In this case, let's do something along the lines of this. Still like this mulberry color, or we could go this coffee color. I think that would be kind of cool too. Now we could go aqua also, but I think I kind of like the tone on tone a little bit more, because then later on when I go to do all my other colors, this is very monochromatic. We can add to it. That's kind of cute. In this case, we could do a teal colored butterfly if we wanted to. Just add a little bit of extra color. We can color it in with some watercolors later if we wanted, whatever we feel like. But see how this just sort of makes it very simple, very easy to go with, you know, whatever you feel like doing. So again here, it's a very busy page, which in and of itself is not a bad thing, but if we wanted to calm it down a little bit, just pick one of the colors and then just kind of go with it, kind of thing. There. You could put a photograph in here, or your title here, whichever way you wanted to do it. So let's see. Again, this is where you can take out the ones that you don't know what to do with. So I have this butterfly one, which I really don't know. I don't really use it very often, and this is a good time to bring it out. Why not use what you have? Again, I'm going to use the teal because I think it looks good with this yellow and orange. I could go monochromatic. In this case, I'm going to run it all along the edge. Now, if it overlaps a little bit, that's okay. That's fine. And here, I could do something. Let's see, what should I do? You could follow the pattern play on here if you wanted, or you could leave it, or, you know, eventually you could put washi tape on there. I'm going to use this little bee somewhere. I don't know where yet. You know what? I think I'll use the bee right here. For some reason, I like this little bee. Oops. Now, it doesn't always stick, so what I do, because after a while they don't stick anymore, I just use my little roller tape. Put some on there. Oh. And then I just stick it on there. And it comes right off. This one I'm just going to stamp randomly. Just create a pattern. Will it be too busy with the other one? I don't know. I might cover it up. I might do something else. Not all of these are going to be perfect because I'm just being very random. So I don't know. Half the fun is just playing. You don't know what you're going to do with the page yet. So, but it will create interest later on when you go to do a page, and it's like, oh yes, that's exactly what I would like to do with that. So even though you don't see the inspiration right now, you will see it later on. So again, you know, patterns, play, frame, just do an accent piece. Again, do long strip. Use the ones you haven't used in a while and see what you come up with. And just pick a color from wherever. You can either go monochromatic, you can go all the same, whichever one you want to do. You could do more on here if you want it, or you could just leave it as it is. So yeah, that's Traveler's Notebook number 1. And yeah, like I said, you know, I'd like to do it to all of them. And I will continue doing so. And then in the next video, we'll do maybe some washi tape or some other embellishments. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this, and I will see you in the next one. Bye, guys.